I am currently in Vienna. Let's eat this falafel wrap with Johann Strauss and talk about the PCT. This looks like a nice enough spot in the park. So if you're anything like me, at one point I did not know a thing about backpacking or through hiking. Here's some helpful tips and information that I learned along the way that I hope you find useful. Number one is gear research. I spent most of the lockdown in 2020 just researching all my gear, and it always comes down to cost and how much something weighs. You'd be surprised at how quickly things add up, and you don't want that extra weight on your back because it could lead to injuries and slow you down. Your gear will be unique to you, but I did find it helpful to research what other people used. I went ahead and made a list of all the items that were in my pack. The list includes the big three, like my pack, tent, and sleeping bag, along with all the clothes I wore, the rain gear, cookware, water filtration, and electronics. I included everything with a link. If you end up purchasing anything off Amazon, make sure to use the link I provided. It gives a small kickback, and that's one way that you can support this channel. Number two is education. Knowledge is power, and it just might save your life on trail. So educate yourself. What are the signs of heat exhaustion or hypothermia? What do you do if you see a mountain lion, a rattlesnake, a bear? How do you safely cross a river? What do you do if there's a forest fire? What are the 7 rules of leave no trace? You can learn so much online before you even set foot on trail, and it also helps to boost your confidence. And as a solo female hiker, I made sure to take some self-defense classes before I went hiking because I knew I'd be doing some hitchhiking, and I wanted to empower myself in case I came across anything crazy. Thankfully, that didn't happen though. Everyone I met was super nice. And lastly, make sure to join the Facebook group for the year you'll be hiking, like PCT Class of 2024 or 2025. This is a great resource for all trail information. You can also meet people before you start your hike, and it's where they post any fire closures. Number 3, training. Building up those muscles before you start to hike is really important. I'll link a strengthening exercise video in the description below. Also, you can go on day hikes with your full pack. This is such a beautiful park. Let's go for a walk. Number 4, getting your permit. You should know if the trail you want to hike requires you to have a permit. I hike the PCT, which does require one. You're going to want to know your ideal start date and end date, keeping in mind that most northbound PCT hikers start their hike around mid-April through early May. And it takes about 5 months to complete the whole trail. There's only one specific day that you can apply for your permit. So keep an eye out for that deadline on the pcta.com website. I'll also link where you can get your California fire permit so you can use a cook stove on trail. Be prepared to answer some basic fire safety questions. Okay, number 5 is resupplies. This one's going to take a while to cover. There is so much information on how to resupply your food and fuel. If you're someone who doesn't mind eating whatever you have available when you hike into a town, then you might not need resupply boxes. I, however, eat mostly a plant-based and vegan diet, except for the occasional Snickers bar. You can have a family member or friend ship your resupply boxes ahead of time, and any post office in the United States will hold it for you for up to a month. I bought this book that listed all of the post office addresses as well as other outpost addresses, and I've put the affiliate link to that book in the description below. Using this book, along with the website called Craig's PCT Planner, really helped me to estimate how many miles I would be hiking per day and how many days in between resupply packages I had. Postholder.com is also a great resource to get a time and miles estimate of your hike and what it might look like. Now, I created a system of putting together my resupply boxes. Each box has a set of 4 numbers: how many breakfasts, how many lunches, dinners, and daily snacks. I allocated 4 snacks per day. Then you go and buy a whole bunch of food you actually like that's easy enough to cook on trail, and you start putting those boxes together. This is a bag of cartons, empty cartons. This is crazy. 4 months of food, 5 months of food, that's a lot. That's a lot. Pro tip, Make sure your boxes are distinguishable from everyone else's because it helps to describe it to the person retrieving your box. It makes the whole process go a lot smoother. And lastly, number 6, take this hike seriously. The PCT is no joke. It's the wilderness out there. On the day I started my hike, someone stumbled off a cliff and had to be airlifted off the trail within the first 6 miles. You're going to walk by hiker memorials where people passed away, and I even met someone who found a dead body on trail. Listen, I'm not trying to scare or deter anyone from hiking at all. You should be a responsible hiker and take some preparations before you go. Preparation number 1, get your last will and testament in order. I know this may sound silly, it did for me at age 35, but just do it. Preparation number 2, create a document with all your important passwords and share it with a trusted family member or friend. If you become a lost hiker, things like your Google password, your Apple password, your cell phone provider password, your laptop code, these are the things that help people find you because they might be able to trace your last cell phone ping. Preparation number 3, make a document with some in case of emergency resources for your loved ones. I'll leave some links to some resources below, but these are the things that are going to help your family members act swiftly with the proper authorities should you become a lost hiker. Preparation number 4, make sure you're checking in with someone when you come into a town that has service. It's just a good practice. And preparation number 5, get yourself some insurance. I hope you found some of this information useful. I'm sure everyone has their own unique requirements when planning a long hike like this. These tips are just meant to get you started. Even though I ended my PCT hike early, I know that my gear and planning preparations would have taken me all the way to Canada. And if there's anything you think I left out for planning, let me know in the comments below. I would love to read them and share that information with others. This is Artemis from Vienna, signing off. Happy trails, everyone.